Hello and welcome back to my channel, Cards by Melissa Minor. Today I'm going to be using this adorable stamp set from the Stamps of Life, the Get Well Bandages stamp set. Now this is not the first time I've used this stamp set, so I will link a video down below in the description box where I go through all the details of the club and everything else about this set. Today I'm going to be making a Get Well card, and I'm going to be showing you how to add a wobble to your card. So if you've never done that, stay tuned. It's going to be so fun. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start here with a piece of cardstock. And I have a white piece of cardstock here, and it measures 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to take the little pill bottle stamp set, and I am going to use some alcohol-proof ink, and I'm going to random stamp my cardstock. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to go in more of a triangular pattern, so you'll kind of see everything looks like it goes in a triangle. And I'm trying to get some on the page and some off the page just to give it a good look so that it doesn't look so matchy-matchy when I get ready to put my card together. So I'm going back here and just filling in some places where I think I could have got a few more pill bottles. Okay, so I'm also bringing in this stamp set, and this is called the More Cookies to Stamp. And the reason I'm using this is I want this cute little heart on here because I thought the heart would look really cute with the pill bottle. So I have the pill bottle stamped, and now I want to bring in the heart. And I'm going to use my strawberry ink. This is an older one, so it's like the old design, but you know what? I have the re-inker, and it still works great. So this is from the Stamps of Life. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in some of these gaps with my hearts. So anytime I'm making my own pattern paper, I like to start with my larger stamped image first and then go back in with the smaller ones. Now in this case, I think the pill bottle and the heart are about the same size, so it doesn't really matter in this case. So I'm going to keep stamping these hearts until I'm happy with the way that this is looking. And again, I'm making sure to get some on the page, some off the page, and then, you know, like half images. And I'm going to have an image covering up the right side, so I'm not too worried about how the right side is looking. Isn't this cute? This is a salt cellar, and I store my stamp chamois in here. And if you're interested in that, I will have a link down below for that. I love it. Okay, now I'm bringing in my Totally Tiffany bag here, and this is where I store my alcohol markers because they say you should store your tri-blend markers flat. And so I really like the way this keeps all of mine flat. I've tried several different storage methods, and this is the way I like mine. I believe this is called the paper taker, the 8.5 by 11 paper taker. And so, and you'll see here, I don't have a fancy way to swatch my ink colors. I just literally swatched them all, or my markers, and wrote the names above them. So I'm pulling out a couple colors here. I know I want some kind of brown on the pill bottle, and I know I want some kind of blue. I thought I wanted this fair skin blend here, and then I'm going to come back in just a moment and realize I think that's just a little bit too light, and I believe I pull in the lightest of the muted brown blend. So I'm going to take I'm going to change my mind here and pull in that muted brown. And I'm just going to color in like where the little plus sign is on all of these little pill bottles. And I'll just do a couple here and then I'll finish the rest off camera. So I'm just nothing fancy. These are really too small to do any fancy ink blending or anything, but I'm just gonna finish coloring all of these in. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with this True Blue blend. I'm gonna take the lightest shade and I'm just gonna finish coloring in all these little pill bottles. Okay, so I'm really liking the way that this is looking. And after I have all of this stamped, I still feel like there's a lot of white space. And so to address that, I want to bring in my Nuvo glitter drops. And so I have these Nuvo glitter drops here, and this is the dandelion yellow, and I will have that linked down below. And I wanted to just add some color and just another filler. So you could do that with another small stamp, but I wanted to just add something quick, and I like the extra dimension that these Nuvo glitter drops add. So I'm going to add these Nuvo drops. This is the yellow, and I'm just going to go in all of the blank spaces here and continue just putting some droplets down, and until I'm happy with how this looks. Now, this does take a little bit to dry, and in fact, I did go in and use my heat tool so that I could speed up the drying process. So I almost have this done. And you see how much better that looks? Oh, I love the way that this is looking. Okay, so I have that finished, and I'm going to set that to the side, and we're going to work on the rest of the embellishments for this card. So I have my Misty here, and I'm going to bring in a piece of this Ginger Snap cardstock, and I'm going to work on stamping out the little bandage. And I want to do the little bandage girl that's holding the flowers. So I'm going to stamp the bandage girl twice. I'm going to stamp her once on the Ginger Snap, and then I'm going to stamp her again on some white cardstock. And the reason that I want to stamp her twice is I want to do some paper piecing. So I want to not color in the bandage is what I'm mainly trying to accomplish here. And then I want the flowers and the inside face a lighter color. So that's why I'm going to stamp that on the white, and then I'm going to paper piece it together. So I'm going to take the die, the matching coordinating die here, the outline die, and I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. Okay, so I have both pieces here, and I don't need to cut out the white because I'm going to cut that with my scissors, but I do have the little bandage stamped in on the Ginger Snap. Okay, I'm going to bring in my white gel pen here, and I'm going to color in all these little dots that are on the bandage in the white with the white jelly pen. And so I'm going to finish that up. And then I'm going to bring in some markers here. I've got that muted brown blend, and I'm going to go along the face here for the darker outline of the face. And then for the inside of the face, I'm going to go in with the fair skin blend, and I'm just going to blend those two together. Now, it's not very often that I will mix the two different shades of markers like this because they are a tri-blend and usually you don't mix them. But in this case, I found that mixing these two together, it gave me the color that I wanted for the bandage face. So I'm going to go ahead and finish blending these two together, and you'll see it just blends right together, and it really gives me that good color that I'm looking for. Okay, so once I get that colored up, the next thing that I want to do is I want to color in those flowers. And there's just 3 and they are super tiny, so we're not going to do any fancy coloring. We're just going to bring in a red, a blue, and a yellow. So I'm going to bring in my red marker and I'm going to color in just the little flower here on the right. So I'm going to get that colored up. And then I'm going to bring in my blue marker. And I'm going to color in the blue on the left flower. And then finally, I'm going to come in with my yellow marker. And I'm using the darkest shade here of the yellow marker. Okay, so now that I have that colored in, I'm going to bring my scissors out. Oh, before I bring in my scissors, there's a few finishing details that I'd like to add to my bandage. Bringing in my black lip pen and I'm adding some eyelashes. I'm also coming back with that white jelly pen and I'm adding some eyeballs. And then I'm also coming in with the pale pink blend and just adding some rosy cheeks. These are very small details, but I think the small details really do go a long way. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my scissors, and I didn't speed this process up. I wanted you to see that it really doesn't take that long at all to do this. So what I want to be mindful of is on the flowers, I want to cut on the outside of that black line. So on the outside of the black line, because I want that black line to show for the flowers when I paper piece them together onto the other bandage. But when I come in for the face, I want to cut on the inside of the black line because I want the black line on the ginger snap bandage to be the black line there. I hope that makes sense. So the outside of the black line for the flowers and the inside of that black line for the face. And so I'm just turning my paper here and getting this trimmed, and you can see it really is not taking very long at all to fussy cut this piece. In fact, the other bandage little person, I guess you call it a little person, would have been a lot easier because there aren't any flowers, but I like this one with the little flowers. Okay, so there we go. Let me move that out of the way. And I think that looks good. There's one little piece here where I can see the line. So I'm going to cut that off, and there's another little piece. Okay, so I got that all cut off, and I'm going to bring in my precision glue press and get some glue on here. And now we have our cute little bandage ready to go for our card. Isn't that so sweet? And that was so easy. We didn't have to do a lot of coloring. I love that. And it almost looks like it was just printed that way because we didn't have to do the coloring. Okay, so I do want to get a sentiment here. So I'm going to bring in an additional stamp set. The additional stamp set that I'm going to be bringing in here is called Words for Get Well. And this has lots of good sentiments on here. Sending you happy thoughts. I wish I was there to help you heal. Sending hugs and healing vibes your way. Chocolate might make it better. And the one I'm going to use is thinking of you and sending lots of love as you heal. And then there's also take care of yourself, feel better, you're in my thoughts. Here's to brighter days ahead, and sending healing thoughts and warm wishes your way. So I love this set. I'm glad that I purchased it. I did stamp that and get that cut out with my scissors. And again, I'm just going in here with my black journaling pen and just adding a little black outline just to finish that off. Now I have a piece of sky cardstock here cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm also bringing in these dotted hearts. And I have a dotted heart here that I've already cut using the strawberry cardstock. And so I know I want to put this dotted hearts on the card as well as the sentiment, our pattern paper that we made, and the bandage. So I have a card base here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my scoring tool, and let me just get this folded over. Okay, so I just about have all of the pieces ready to assemble. But before I do that, have you seen these wobbles? So this is what's going to make our card really fun. I think that using this wobble is definitely going to make somebody smile. I mean, especially when you're sending a get well card. I mean, look, this is what you do. You just kind of tap on it, set your bandage on there, tap, 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 and it's going to like wobble. Well, that's not a very good example. I promise it'll be better once we get going here. So let's go ahead and start assembling. I did decide that I wanted to add a little black ink around the edges. You could use an inking tool, any black ink you have. I just have this little powder puff ink that I picked up at a scrapbook convention one time, and I keep it on my desk. It's one of my favorites that I use all the time just to go around the edges of things. Okay, so I have the edges of this all inked up. You see how much definition that just gave that so it stands out? Let's bring in my glue press here. And we'll get some glue going. And I'm gonna take the panel that we made, and I'm gonna get this glued down to the piece of sky cardstock. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to take our heart and I want to adhere that. Now, I kind of thought about putting it in the center, and that would look really cute too. I like it, but I think I just want to do a half a heart. I don't want to cover up so much of that paper. I mean, we worked really hard to stamp that paper. So let me just think here, which side gets the glue? This side here. So I'm going to put glue on this side of the heart. And I'm going to get this adhered down. So let me give it a good press. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over onto the back, and I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to snip off the excess. Let's see. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to take my glue here, and I'm just going to get the edges just tacked down a little bit to make sure that that stays down. So I've got that all nice and adhered down. Okay, and now I'm going to glue this panel to the card base. This is an A2 card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And we'll stick this down. And then I kind of lift it up here because have you ever went to glue a card panel and then realized that you glued it on the wrong side? So I always double check. Okay. And then here comes the fun part. So we're going to put our little Band-Aid on and our sentiment. So I'm going to get the sentiment glued down, and then we're going to put the wobble on here. So for the wobble, these come in various packages. I have linked a smaller package of them down below, but these are so fun. This is the small size, and you're just going to take some kind of pokey tool. I like to use my Cricut pokey tool here, and it has an adhesive backing. So we're gonna peel this adhesive backing off. And there's like a flat side, and then there's more of like a springy side that has the middle cut out. So we're gonna take the full flat side and adhere that down to our card. And then you'll see how the top part has like a hole cut out in the center. That's the springy side. We're gonna take the top layer off of the adhesive, and then we're gonna put our bandage guy on there and get him adhered down real well. And look at him. This is so fun. Like, the more I poke at him, he just wobbles. Isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh, I can't stop. So fun. So if you've enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment, any comment. I love reading all of your comments. Again, I have shopping links listed down below in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.